There are truths about female intimacy so intense that most people would never dare to say them out loud. But listen, when a woman does it from behind, her body reveals secrets that can't be hidden. She may smile, she may play it down, she may even deny what she feels. But there are physical, chemical, and psychological reactions that give her away immediately. And the most surprising thing is that many of these reactions have nothing to do with what she consciously thinks, but with how her body is designed. Today I'm going to reveal facts very few people know. Forbidden curiosities about anal practice that show what really happens inside a woman. And I assure you that after hearing this, you'll never see her the same way again. The first thing you need to understand is that the anus isn't just a taboo zone. It's one of the places with the highest concentration of nerve endings in the entire body. More than 8,000 nerve fibers connect to the pudendal nerve, the same nerve that carries sensations from the clitoris. Do you know what that means? When properly stimulated, the electrical signals traveling to the brain multiply, generating pleasure so intense that many women are left in shock. They try to hide it, but their labored breathing, goosebumps, and involuntary muscle tremors confirm it. The body speaks louder than any words. And here's a detail almost no one mentions. Those nerve endings don't work alone. Anal sex activates automatic reflexes in the pelvic floor, causing the vagina and uterus to respond at the same time. That's why some women can experience a mixed orgasm, a kind of double explosion that combines the depth of vaginal contractions with anal intensity. It's so strong that it's hard to describe, and many won't even admit it for fear of being judged. But the fact is, their anatomy responds inevitably, and that reaction can't be hidden. Another curious fact science has confirmed. During anal penetration, the female brain releases a unique blend of dopamine and endorphins. It's like a natural cocktail of arousal and relief. That chemical combination creates a state of euphoria and pleasure that can become addictive. Even women who felt pain during their first experience later feel the need to repeat it because the brain remembers that surge of pleasure mixed with tension release. And it doesn't matter how much they try to disguise it. Dilated pupils, goosebumps, and pelvic contractions are visible marks of what's happening inside. Picture this. She calmly says she doesn't feel that much, but her body betrays her. Her back arches, her legs tremble, and the flush in her skin speaks louder than any words. That contrast between what she tries to project and what she really feels is what makes anal sex such a forbidden, mysterious, and irresistible territory to explore. Because every reaction, from the quickening pulse to the heat coursing through her lower abdomen, is an involuntary confession of what's happening inside her. And here's the great truth no one tells you. These responses aren't a myth or an exaggeration. They are neurological reflexes, biological responses, and chemical bursts that make it impossible to hide what the female body is experiencing in that moment. That's why so many women keep it quiet. They fear that if they confessed it, they'd be revealing a side of their pleasure that few dare to accept. Now that you understand how the female body reacts in ways that are impossible to hide, let me take you into even more curious truths. The kind of secrets almost no one dares to say out loud because they break apart everything you thought you knew about anal sex. First, let's talk about an unexpected effect: the feeling of intestinal relief. It may sound strange, but when the anus is stimulated, the same nerves that control the rectal area are activated, and this produces a kind of internal massage. Many women describe it not only as liberating, but as if a deep tension they didn't even know they carried had suddenly been released. It doesn't have to do with going to the bathroom. It's about the body interpreting that pressure and stimulation as a decompression, a profound relaxation that can spread through the entire pelvic area. That's why some women report that after doing it from behind, they fall asleep more easily, wake up lighter, or notice less abdominal tightness. Think about it. Such a small detail completely changes the way you see what's truly happening inside her body. Another fascinating point is what I call the mirror effect in vaginal arousal. At first glance, the anus and vagina may seem like two completely separate worlds, but anatomically, they are connected by the same muscular network in the pelvic floor. This means that when anal penetration occurs, the vagina automatically reacts. It contracts, swells with blood, and becomes more sensitive. Even if she isn't touched there, she can still feel wetness, warmth, and heightened sensitivity. It's as if her body had a hidden switch. When pressed from behind, it lights up the response at the front too. This is one of the reasons some women confess to experiencing double orgasms, that blend of anal and vaginal stimulation, though most will never say it openly. And wait, because here comes something even more surprising: the brain's ability to mix pain with pleasure during this practice. Have you ever noticed how sometimes she moans in a way that seems uncertain, as if she can't tell whether it hurts or if she's enjoying it intensely? That happens because the same nerve pathways that carry pain also carry the signals of deep pleasure. When the brain receives these two messages at the same time, it doesn't separate them, it fuses them. The result is a kind of neurological short circuit that triggers the release of extra endorphins. What she feels is an ecstasy that doesn't exist in ordinary experiences, a unique state that only arises in situations where the forbidden and the pleasurable collide. And even if she tries to hide it, her body reveals everything: tremors in her legs, goosebumps rising on her skin, sweat beading on her chest, and uncontrollable moans that betray the truth of what she's experiencing. There's also the powerful psychological effect of the taboo. Many women grow up believing that anal sex is forbidden, dirty, or something they're not supposed to like. But here's the paradox: that very stigma makes the intensity even greater. When a woman dares to break that rule, her brain interprets it as crossing a forbidden line. And what happens when we cross boundaries? Adrenaline floods the body. The brain releases more dopamine, creating a rush of excitement layered on top of the physical pleasure. It's not just arousal anymore. It's thrill, danger, secrecy, and desire all mixed into one. That sense of "this shouldn't be happening, but it is" becomes etched into memory, often staying with her for years as one of the most unforgettable experiences of her intimate life. And now let me give you a rarely mentioned but extremely practical detail: the key to rhythm. Anal sex is not something to be rushed, and yet most men make that mistake. The truth is, the most effective movements are not the deepest or the fastest, but the short, slow thrusts, carefully combined with pauses. Each pause tricks the brain into thinking the stimulation has stopped, so when the motion resumes, the intensity feels amplified. It's like pressing a reset button over and over again, with each reset making the next wave of sensation stronger than it actually is. For her, what you think of as slow and simple is multiplied into waves of intensity that keep building higher and higher. And here comes the most intriguing revelation: even if she denies it with her words, her body betrays her with signals that are impossible to hide. After anal sex, the pelvic floor muscles remain tighter than before, and the lower abdomen radiates warmth. These are physiological signs caused by increased blood circulation and muscular activity in the area. Even if she doesn't say a single word, her body screams that something happened, and that it was deeper, more powerful, and far more intimate than appearances might suggest. Now imagine what's waiting in the next videos. Not only these hidden reactions, but also the most effective techniques, the psychological secrets that lie behind anal sex, and the ways to transform it into an experience that is not only safe but also profoundly intense and life-changing. What you've discovered today is just the tip of the iceberg. So tell me in the comments, which of these forbidden truths surprised you the most? Was it the sense of relief, the mirror effect that links the vagina and anus, or the mind-blowing short circuit where pain and pleasure blend into one? Your answer doesn't just open the conversation. It guides me toward the next secrets I'll reveal, secrets that will make you see anal sex in a way you never have before.